Hello, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Ryan. Welcome back to the Forgotten City and episode 4 of our blind playthrough. Thank you so much, seriously, for being here. I hope you're enjoying this series so far. I am certainly. Welcome back. In our last episode, we met a cast of characters around the market area. We spoke more thoroughly with Decius Dacius. We met Virgil, Georgius. Just like in any community, this city has its... Oh, I accidentally turned the flashlight on. Has its interpersonal dramas and, you know, the like intricacy of of relationships between humans who live in close proximity. And that was one of the threads that we pulled on last episode. One of the things we spent our time on. We also learned about maybe some overarching that's probably the temple thing, right? Overarching mysteries, like maybe a god who resides in this temple, maybe a god who is sort of speaking through these statues. Anyways, what do we want to get up to today? I don't know. Let me look at my notebook. We also heard some tell of potentially escaping. What do we want to get up to today? Let's check our quests first and foremost. I kind of like one of the first things on my mind was continuing to track down this Virgil, who is threatening and harassing Virgil, trying to figure that out. But that's just the one that we have selected right now. We also have getting into the cistern, obtaining a bow. Interesting. It says a bow might come in useful. Obtain a bow. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to get this for Dacius. Listen, you might be watching this seconds after you finished the last episode, but we have a newborn at home, and I'm just going to give you a little behind the scenes on how much I get to record this game or how often I get to record the game. The answer to how often, am I recording every day? Am I recording 2 episodes back to back? The answer to when I'm recording is whenever my newborn daughter will allow me to. And that means sometimes there's big breaks between recordings. But that's okay. So, if I forget things between episodes, this is my excuse. I have this excuse for the rest of my life. I have a daughter. Domitius has denied me access to Malleolus's villa. I need to get creative if I want to get inside. Sure. This is the treatment for rheumatism, the mystery patient. And I definitely want to go to Navia. At this point, frankly, I got too many leads and not enough progress on any of them. Find a way into the palace. The front door is locked. This is Navia's quest. Get Malleolus to drop out of the election. Or buy the silphium resin. That's basically what we learned here, is that we probably need to just buy the silphium resin. Let's do this. Let's go find Fabia, the person who saw something about this graffiti that calls Virgil a sinner, hypothetically for being gay. Cutscene?
You have to do something. A man arrived in the baths. A real nasty sort. With his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon.
Weapons should be illegal, right?
Do something, or he's going to break the golden rule.
Confront the armed man entering the city? Entering? My mind is reeling. Could this be me from one of the past time loops or a future time loop with a mask on? No, that doesn't make sense, right? How? I don't have a weapon.
None of us do. The magistrate made us throw them all into the chasm. So now this man's bow is the only one in the city. You'll just have to improvise.
We have a bow now. Okay, how is this my problem? It's all of our problem.
Are you daft or just callous? If you don't stop him, we're all going to die.
Does Fabia look a little cross-eyed to you, or is that just me? I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. He's still in there, somewhere.
Can I ask you?
I have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over.
Oh, so I got to do that shit before we do this? Okay. Maybe we shouldn't meet in here?
What? We don't have time for this. I have to go.
Don't meet in the shrine? Okay, never mind. I don't know why I said that. Does that mean that... What does that mean? In one of the past time loops, did something happen in the empty shrine?
Ugh.
Oh, you're sprinting off. Okay.
The shrine is collapsing.
Oh, shit.
Fabia, no! Oh God, she's dead! Did anyone see that? The whole shrine just collapsed on her! Oh, Fabia, why did you have to go in there? Poor sweet girl.
I can't tell if this is... Okay. Was that suspicious? Was I suspicious? Did I do this? Or did Georges do this? Why is Georges so over the top with the... Hold up. I got a million questions. A loaf of bread? Circular loaf of bread designed to be pulled apart into wedges. It appears to be freely available to anyone who wants it. And it's covered in blood. We'll take it, sure. Goodbye, Fabia. Oh no, did I get myself stuck? Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, warning. Shrine may collapse at any moment? What the hell? What is the deal with this shrine here? Do I have to somehow prevent her from going in there in a future time loop in order to talk to her? This is one of the most interesting things. This is one of the most interesting things about gaming and playing games. I'm going to see if I can explain this thought that I'm having in any way that makes sense to you or is valuable. But one of the things that I really love about playing games for the first time, as opposed to reading a book for the first time or watching a movie for the first time, it's similar but different. When you read a book for the first time, you're sort of comparing it against all of the books in your past. And books, especially if you read the same genre, they tend to have this, like, different things happen to the characters in the books. The characters are different. All of the details are different. But they have this shape. The shape that has worked really well for centuries of storytelling, depending on your culture and et cetera, the literary tradition you write in. Basically, there's a form. There's a pattern. There's a shape. And, you know, ignoring the specific details, you're used to the shape. And so you know vaguely, you can tell vaguely when something is going to happen or whatever. You have expectations. Gaming, there's so many different traditions. Like, there's so many different types of games that now this event happens. Fabia dies in this shrine. I'm going to pause so that I don't waste my time and the time doesn't run out and the election happens. There's so many different types of games that when this and I'm so new to gaming that when this happens, my brain goes a couple different places. Is this a time loop type problem where the game of it is I need to, in the next time loop, find a way to talk to Fabia and convince her not to go into the shrine so that I can then actually ask her the question about Virgil? Like, that's the puzzle, right? Or is it a different version of that where I need to stop the shrine from falling in? Is this not a puzzle at all and she'll always die this way? Is it and like, depending, I don't know yet in what tradition or in what way this game is going to proceed, and so I can't know. Like, all of those are possibilities for me. And I guess what I'm saying is, like, early in a game, one of the especially early in a game that I'm playing for the first time, or like playing blind that I don't know a lot about, one of the big pleasures for me is being like, what type of game is this? Like, you're picking up little pieces of evidence and being like, what exactly is this game gonna do? Because it's really delightful to try and figure it out and then watch when the game shows you. So she's dead. Will she be dead in every time loop? I don't know. It looks like it's getting dark, though. Let's try this. Let's go... I can't ask Fabia. So let's switch to Intruder and at least see the baths are there. Okay. Are there any other context clues really quickly around the shrine before I go? Something that we could look for next time, maybe? The other option is that, like, is this a, like, a social or interpersonal intrigue? Georges is the one who was referenced as, like, talking to Fabia a lot. Are they actually good friends and he was actually sad? Was that an over-the-top performance? When he was like, oh no, Fabia's dead. Was that over the top? I don't know. Let's focus on one thing at a time. Or at least do my damnedest. This room looks so familiar. Was this room in? Oh shit. Oh shit.
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is?
Quintius. Quinctius. You're looking for Tiberius? I don't think I know that person. I don't know if they were... I haven't met him, I don't think. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus. I don't know.
I'm not sure I believe that, so allow me to explain something to you. I am here with orders from Emperor Nero himself to find and execute the cultist Quinctius for terrible crimes against the Empire. So, if you tell me the truth, I will allow you to live. But if you lie to me or otherwise obstruct the Emperor's business in any way, I will put this arrow through your chest. Is that understood?
Intrigue. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna die. Never mind, I'm not excited. Sent by Nero to kill the cultist. Quinctius. That's the most awkward name for me to say. I feel like I can't say it well. Quinctius. I got it. Are you gonna know when I'm lying? Are you like the god that you'll know when I commit a sin? Got it.
Thank you. Now tell me, who are you people? And what is this place?
You're an actual outsider. I have no idea. How to proceed here. Why don't you put that bow down and come in and see for yourself?
Oh, how very welcoming of you. You want me to let my guard down, is that it? You're not going to get your claws into me. I was told Quinctius was a cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me right to the heart of his mystery cult.
What is a mystery cult, exactly? Now, here's my other thought. Is this game just a... This is what I was talking about, like, my favorite part of a game like this where you don't know exactly how it operates. Like, one hypothesis I have is that this game is a series of Jenga towers that are all seconds away from falling. And they fall on... This is where the metaphor gets stretched. They fall, like, on a timer, a timed loop. And your job, if you're going to successfully get to the final Jenga tower, is to, like, stop this Jenga tower from falling, stop this one, and then if you do all of them enough, or if you do all of them quickly enough, you get to the final one. The election is a Jenga tower. This mystery assassin might be. Fabia dying might be. I don't know. We'll have to do the way to test this, of course, is to do multiple time loops and to stop talking and to just see what happens every time you do it. I'm kind of tempted to play this right now. I don't know if I'm going to. I'm kind of tempted to play this as in, like, how many different ways can I fuck this up? What's a mystery cult?
Oh, don't play coy with me. I don't care if you're worshipping Bacchus, Magna Mater, or Christ.
Christianity.
You lot are all the same to me. Always sneaking off to your secret sanctuaries, indoctrinating each other with your little mantras. The Emperor may have tolerated your activities up until now, but after what Quinctius did, those days are numbered.
What did Quinctius... I have to ask that. What did Quinctius do? Let me write that down. This music and this voice acting is a lot of fun right now. It's the Empire from Star Wars type vibes. We're not cultists. You've got the wrong idea.
You say that, but if you're not a cult, then why go to such great lengths to keep this place a secret?
I'm actually looking for a way out. We're trapped here. We're all trapped here. It's not a secret. We're trapped here.
So you admit you're not allowed to leave.
Now this is the moment where I'm tempted to quote unquote do science. You said you said very adamantly you would know when I was lying and you would kill me. An option to lie? This is sort of the dumbest lie ever to tell, because I literally, the sentence before this said, we're all trapped here. We can actually leave whenever we want. But I kind of want to see what happens. Fuck around, find out. We can leave if we want.
You're a terrible liar. So none of you are allowed to leave. Fascinating. That sounds an awful lot like a cult to me.
Am I in a
and
cult?
I saw the inscription saying, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one."
Ah, yes.
I take it this is some kind of mantra you all believe?
Yes. Turn the other cheek. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. It is harder for a rich man to get into heaven than the camel to go through the eye of a needle. Sure. It's not a mantra. It's a warning. What if I lie again? It's a warning.
A distinction without a difference. You've clearly been indoctrinated into this nonsense.
I might have
Now
been.
tell me, where did you lot get enough gold to make all these statues?
I love that this assassin is so convinced of his worldview. This assassin is... The assassin here has been siloed in his own problematic corner of the internet for too long. And he's just like, the birds are government drones. It's true. Yes, we made these statues with gold. Of course. They were people who turned to gold as punishment. Or turned it into gold as
You
punishment.
lot are practicing human sacrifice too. You people disgust me.
I love his voice, though. It's so good. We didn't turn them to gold. A god did it, and we don't know which one.
Of course you'd say that, but that's what your kind do, isn't it? Our God told us to do it.
This conversation is
It's
so
all
pointless.
clear to me now. The secret sanctuary, the indoctrination, the mantra, the human sacrifice.
Are you going to kill us
You're
all?
Cultists. There's no doubt in my mind. What baffles me is how a person can believe in something with such zeal. They just can't see what they've become. However, you still have a chance to redeem yourself by telling me where Quinctius is. Do not waste it.
Let me check my log to say where Quinctius lives. I don't even know if we have a human named Quinctius in the city. It's the first thing I'm going to do when we're out of this conversation. Once again, by the way, the smart dialogue writing of this game. The assassin berates me for believing something with such zeal that is, of course, false. The assassin has walked in here with a preconceived notion of who I am and therefore will not believe anything else. Smart dialogue writing. I'm not going to bribe him. There's no way that'll work. Can you tell me more about Quinctius?
Very well. Here's what I know. He's a 40 to 50-year-old man with distinctive eyes, one green and one blue. He's also known to have delusions of grandeur.
Okay.
The Emperor says he and his cult, your cult, are responsible for starting the fire which burnt half of Rome to the ground and killed thousands in the process.
So, delusions of grandeur, heterochromia, green and blue. I don't know if there's varieties of heterochromia, but that specifically he said green and blue. This is interesting that the cultists supposedly started the fire. That's got to be a state lie from Nero, right? like blame the other on the reason. I'm gonna take notes on it though. I'm gonna say cultists started the fire, question mark, according to Nero. Perhaps the Emperor was looking for a scapegoat. That's what I said.
Who are you to challenge what the Emperor says? Were you there? Do you have spies and scouts all over Rome like he does? No, you do not. This is your last chance. Are you going to tell me where he is or not?
I don't think that the way I have played the game, can tell you. I think in another time loop, if I figure it out and I get here, that possibly I could tell you. But I can't tell you right now. I have no idea who or where he is.
Then you're of no use to me. Do you have any last words?
What if I said my last words were, the many shall die for the sins of the one? You said you wouldn't kill me if I told you the truth. Jesus Christ, you're an idiot. I almost have to pick this dialogue option just because I'm sure he'll react to the Jesus Christ in it. Do you? I can't attack. Imagine if I pulled out a gun at this point. The whole game I'm going to be thinking, what if I had a gun? Jesus Christ, you're an idiot. We got to see this dialogue.
Aha, I knew it.
Confirmation of my conspiracy.
It's my turn to tell you something. Once I'm done with you and Quintius, I intend to kill every last one of you wretched degenerates.
How did you get in here?
And I can think of nothing I'd enjoy more.
Because I need to get out of here. You missed.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Okay, here's what I was looking at. I want to see how these statues react. There's an arrow person right there who's going to kill me in a second.
It's the statues. They're alive.
Fabia's body does not do anything.
Protect these people.
These statues turn to look at you? Ah. So that's the relationship. The statues become watchers once... Wait, does that make sense? I've been sort of operating under the idea that the statues are... The golden statues are sort of... One god or one person is looking through their eyes, and a different one is controlling the archers. Does that make sense? That's the god in the god who speaks with the voice. Many shall die for the sins of the one. Whereas the other statues have a different voice. Not like a different physical voice, but like a different. They say things like "Find me, we're watching you." They speak with a different desire, if you will. Oh, buddy. I got more questions than I had 20 minutes ago, that's for sure. All right, let's get down to business. First things first. Citizen register Quintius. I think it's possible this person is going by a different name now. So I do not expect... Here's what we have to do for the rest of the game. Form hypotheses, test hypotheses. Question our expectations and see if they turn out to be right. My expectation would be Quintius would not go by Quintius's name in this world. You could just tell people you had a new name. So we're going to have to look for a person with heterochromia and delusions of grandeur. My first thought is we need to check if Sentius has two colored eyes. Maybe he stole the uniform. I don't know. Maybe Malleolus, delusions of grandeur, running for president, running for whatever it's called here. But let's check first before we get all up in our head with hypotheses. Quinctus, the full name was something different, but This is all alphabetical. I'm just looking for other names in case. Okay. QRS. So it would have been right here. No Quinctius. That's my first question. Second question is, what do we check next? What do we do next? Figure out how to... It's interesting. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how I feel about this element of the game. That doesn't mean it's a negative so far. But currently, I have a little bit of a reservation about how I looked at the problem of the intruder that I just encountered in one specific way. I either need to get him the information that he wants, or I need to find a way to avoid him coming through that door, or something along those lines. However, that world of possibility of potential solutions, which might still be the case, that exists in my head, doesn't need to be there because the game specifically says, figure out how to neutralize the armed man. In so many of these quests, they kind of give you, without mincing words, they give you a possible or the possible way forward, with hints as well. I'll need to stop him. I mean, it makes sense, but it's the only solution that makes sense, because if you tell him who Quinctius is, he kills a person, and then we still anger the god. So whatever. But you know. Oh, hello. It's my man Galerius.
Salve, friend.
Salve,
I'm
friend.
Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in this?
I'm little indigestion and I got lost.
Oh, is that right? Well, just make sure you don't get lost in any other sacred places you're not supposed to be. Can't have you disrespecting the gods by accident, can we now? But listen, most folks, you seem...
I'm just gonna skip. Don't worry about me, I know what I'm doing.
All right, friend. Suit yourself. Just don't do anything...
See ya. Oh, I'm a Maverick. I got a Steam achievement. I got a Steam achievement called Maverick, Skip the City Tour. So how do we test our hypotheses here? I kind of want to go see if Sentius is... If Sentius has two different colors of eyes. I wonder if there's a Steam achievement for landing on top of the thing right there. If I'm remembering correctly, Sentius is up this, top of this area.
On your best behavior, I trust.
How are your eyes? Very normal. Okay, hello, Horatius.
Ugh, this place has become a thoroughfare.
Hi, Cynthia. Now, here's a question. Do you remember me? You shouldn't, right? Like, you shouldn't have the same relationship to me.
Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
So just to confirm, a couple times ago, a couple loops ago, I pissed Cynthia off by asking problematic questions and snooping in her room or snooping in her stuff. And so she would not have any more dialogue with me.
I trust you can see yourself out.
But we've reset our relationship, as you would expect. She doesn't remember that, and so we don't have a problem. Those don't look heterochromatic to me.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
We're finally alone? I'm little indigestion. We've had this conversation before.
We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, someone is about to break the golden rule, forcing me to create a portal in time to bring you here? I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit is. Only, I assume we failed. and you had to start over. Is that about right? If so, what happened?
Interesting. I didn't know that there would be new dialogue with Sentius, but it makes total sense because he's the one who's familiar with the idea that he would have to create a portal. I couldn't stop it from being broken, or I broke it. I think both have happened at this point. Let's say I couldn't stop it from being broken.
Ah, I see. Look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now is that you make use of what you've learned and gathered, and do better next
Gathered.
time.
Is my...
Now, I assume you sought me out again for a reason.
That makes sense. I should have questioned. My inventory stays the same. Does the chest in the lake keep its denarii? Because if so, I can get to enough to buy the serum that way. Let me get back to it.
Thank you. I'll be waiting here for news.
I want to try coming back here and saying I broke it another time. Do I keep the denarii? Denarius. I do. Denarii, whatever. I keep the bread. I keep it all. Oh my god. I keep the key to Theseus. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, Eureka, first off. So, hypothetically, oh, this changes everything. Hypothetically, the game isn't reincarnate in your time loop and solve everything from scratch. The game was never that because you take with you the information from loop to loop, obviously, right? I already know. I don't have to talk to everyone every time to get the information. I already know some things. That's the Metroidbrania part of the game, if you will. I love that term that somebody else coined, not me. It's also, you keep more than the knowledge, you keep your freaking inventory. That's been obvious for episodes now, and I totally missed it because I've had the citizen register. I ended a loop by stealing the key to Dacius's chest, but now I have so that's what we have to try immediately. We immediately have to try. Can I then open the chest, steal from the chest, and then wake up in the next loop with whatever it was? I have the... That's Domitius, right? Domitius. Jesus Christ, you scared me. Hold up. Oh, we got to try a bunch of things. We got to try so much.
On your best behavior, I trust?
Of course, absolutely. Oh, not that. Don't try that. Although, we should try that at one point just to see what happens. Because oh my god. Freaking Eureka, right? Like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a really quick science experiment. First off, do you have 126 denarius? Perfect. We've looted the same chest twice. We can get 126-ish or so every time there. I don't know if it was 126 the time before. Second off, 127. Second off. No, I started with 1 denarius in my pocket before, so it was 126. 126, 126, plus 1, 253. Second off, is suicide a crime in this world, or is it just that dying would hypothetically... I don't know that it restarts the loop. Would committing suicide bring down the wrath of the god, or what happens? Gonna go ahead and do a quick little save. First things first, we have to test it, right? That ought to do it, right? Okay. So, continue from last save. Okay. I was thinking, it doesn't really... there's no way it would really restart the loop because I have to get back to the portal to restart the other loops. So... who knows? Basically, what we've just learned is that we can neither confirm nor deny that suicide is a sin in the eyes of the god because I die either way and I don't live long enough to find out whether or not the gods get mad. Okay, with all of that done, now we know every time we spawn in, we're going to gather some money. Why? I don't know. We're about to be rich. Second off, oh my god, I'm so excited. Can we steal from Denarius now? Because we already own the key, and there's probably also a key sitting here, right? Like it... Oh, in a weird way, this game is very video gamey. Like, we basically just we duplicated this key, right? Key to Decius's chest. It's not there. It's here. That's so weird. Unlock. At any point in time, I'm about to get yelled at by a god. I'm convinced. 24,000. If I steal it all right now, next loop, I can just get the item. However, before I do that, let's do this instead. I need to escape. Before I do that, let's do this instead. We now know for sure how to get this resin. I'm pretty sure. I think if I steal it, the loop ends. I come back with 2,700 denarius. I can pay the 1,500 or whatever for this. Theseus looks busy. I should try talking to him again later.
Hey, Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Decius, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city.
Not true.
We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it.
Okay, so let's talk.
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idea.
Let's skip the pleasantries. How do I get this goddamn resin from you without buying it from you? Because I will do that if I want to. But now that I've solved the problem, I'm like, what's the most interesting way to solve the problem that isn't just stealing? I mean, it's kind of interesting, but like...
Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
How would I come up with 1,000 denarii?
That's hardly my concern. But if you get a job, work hard, and save your coins, you should be able to afford it within, say, 5 years?
I don't have that kind of money.
Very well. Perhaps I can interest you in something within your budget?
Oh, wait, I didn't do this. Wait. Updated lead, you must steal it. Okay. So it's almost, I'm wondering from a like game design perspective, if this isn't basically tutorial island, like this is a tutorial for how to like retain your inventory. We tried to buy it, we can't buy it.
Well,
the game tells you to steal, knowing that that will be the end of the loop. If you steal the item, this is the easiest way is just be denied, steal it, game ends, and then hypothetically you still have it in your inventory and you can just hand it to, you know. But I kind of like the idea of wait. Yeah, no, I think the more interesting idea is definitely steal 2,450 denarii and then pay Decius with his own denarii to get the item, because that's the biggest fuck you to Decius. I don't even care.
The many shall suffer,
right?
For the sins of the one.
Isn't that funnier? Get me out of here, by the way. Ah! Get me out of here. I think that's way funnier. I don't think it matters what I do, probably, but it's... Here's my other thought. If I could get this person to walk out towards me... Ow, shit. Can I walk through that door? Walk out towards me. Yep. I don't want to die here. And if I get hit by one arrow, I'm dead. Hey! Never mind, I have plenty of health. Walk towards me. Ah, no, I was so... Damn it, I was so close. I think I got the statue. Sorry, my brain's going a million miles a minute and it just completely froze. I'm pretty sure in the real, in the apocalypse or whatever, the end game, in this thing right here, there's a statue that is just a frozen girl, right? A golden, yeah. So this actually complicates my theory. My theory was that the golden statues around the world are people who have been attacked in the past. But this one, and not archers, but this one becomes an archer. There's also an archer, like, somewhere around here. Oh my god, we have so many things to solve and so little time to solve it. I'm also pretty sure in the bath, the Roman bath, that one person came off the wall and became an archer. So here, amongst you all, you are dressed like an archer. And you whisper to me. And you don't turn your head. You turn your head because you're an actual victim. Hypothesis being, if you're not dressed like that, then you are a victim and you turn your head. Turn head. However, if you are dressed like that, you become an archer and you might not be a victim. Archer. Can I hit you over the head with my flashlight? Oh boy, this game is incredible. I'm having a lot of fun trying to piece these things together. Okay, so hypothetically, we need to go do the same shit again. We need to steal the money. I'm going to try and knock out... no, we should do one thing at a time. Let's steal the money and go through the portal so that we can fuck Decius over with his own money. And then...
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune.
Just to clarify, in case you were wondering, the reason I'm stealing the money and not this...
Hey, Virgil.
From a, like, lore perspective, is if I steal the money,
I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
Decius is out the money. He's out
The
1,450.
many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
He's out 1,450 denarii and the resin. Whereas if I take the resin, he keeps his money and all he loses is the resin. I want him to lose both. Because I am petty. And then right after we do this, I'm going to turn it in. Ouch. And then I'm going to test if I can get that archer to walk out and to go through that door. Because currently it blocks things. Okay, so you whisper a prayer, dissolve into thin air, but your bones remain. That answers that. We're learning a bunch right now. Cheers. We're learning so much. We just learned Sentius turns into bone in the moment that he whispers the prayer. Why am I hurt? Wait a second. Why am I hurt? That doesn't make sense, does it? Hi, we get it. You're Galerius. We've had this conversation before. Actually, I wanted to talk to you again.
Of course. What did you want to know?
Oh, no, never mind. I'm good.
All right. See you around.
It looked like a new option, but it was not. Zip line. Fuck. Just a little bit of damage. Take that. Make even more money. Okay, so this one whispered and is a victim. But I'm pretty sure one of the archer statues also whispered to me the other day. That's the other thing that I'm trying to piece together, or last loop. That's the other thing I'm trying to piece together is I'm pretty sure But the archer statue also whispered to me. And by pretty sure, I'm 100% sure. So the hypothesis that, like, the victims are inhabited by that other voice and the archers are not is not true. Does that make sense?
Salve.
Hey, I have to talk to you.
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice.
I just want to buy your silphium.
Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
Done. Here's 1,000 denarii.
Oh, you have it. I'm impressed.
Didn't think I had it. Extremely valuable ancient Roman remedy for various afflictions.
Pleasure doing business. Can I help you with anything else?
Nope.
Very well. Another time.
Let's go check really quickly just to make sure. It's gone from here. Do you now have 1,000 in here? You still have the original 2450. I was wondering if you would have 2450 or 3450 because I just gave you 1,000.
I'm not making you
Let's give the silphium resin to Iulia.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called silphium, but that Culus cubulates Decius won't give it to me.
We're learning new Roman curses. I'll write it right beside Genetricum Futator, Culus Cumulates. I have silphium resin. Here, take a little.
What? Quick, give it here. Iulia, Iulia, you need to swallow this. Here, let me help you. Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing, and at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle?
It's a really interesting sort of trope of this type of genre. The like stuck in a time loop or the time traveler type genre is one of the trope is like how isolating it is or would be. I guess it's more of a theme, less of a trope. How isolating it would be to walk through time alone. It's interesting. You would not believe me if I told you. What if I lie? I heard she got sick earlier. I went to find medicine.
But how could you know she needed this exact medicine? And how did you even get it? I guess it doesn't matter. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself.
Steam achievement.
She might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments.
I look forward to talking to her.
Maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need.
Who are you gonna vote for? I wanna know. Okay, we're good.
That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Iulia's life. Apollo smiles upon you.
Oh wait, I don't think you get to vote, unfortunately, Lucretia. Is that correct? I don't think so. That's why there was no dialogue option. Iulia.
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose. Was there something you wanted?
I suppose?
Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
The only note I have on you, Iulia, that we haven't already talked about in the last 5 seconds, is that you were in Malice's villa. So you might have some information about that. Can I ask what happened to you?
As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions.
Are you worried about the golden rule?
The golden rule? That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and Claudia are far crueler.
Scared of Claudia as well. I don't have a note for Claudia yet. I don't really know who that is. Is that who poisoned you?
Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Well, that's saying something without saying something if you want. I can't help unless you tell me what happened.
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you, but it's a long saga.
I have all the time in the world. That's not true.
All right. I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price. 1,000 denarii.
Okay.
She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did.
The only thing I had written down for Iulia before this moment was knows a way out, ? And it's for sale. And I wonder if she's in bed with, metaphorically, Malleolus to get people to take out loans. He's a predatory loan shark type of deal. Why would he lend you so much money?
I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out.
Suicide?
Do you want to know what it was? Hemlock.
Did you... Oh. Did I save you? You poisoned yourself?
Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes.
The snake's cruel black eyes.
She laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back.
Ugh.
Only, he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
This is the question, right? That all makes sense from a character perspective, for what we know about Malleolus and... Actually, I have two questions. Would them doing that to you break the golden rule? And here's the second question. In this time loop, you are hanging on by a thread from having tried to kill yourself. Again, I think it was Sentius who mentioned that suicide might be on the golden rule type list. If you had succeeded, or if Lucretia had not saved you, would we all have died? You know, would the golden rule have been broken? But that's a question I can't answer because I can't test it myself, because that just means that I die and we end the game. Surely that would have broken the golden rule.
That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do.
But the law...
I thought about resisting too.
Is not the same.
But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa. Confiscated everything I owned as collateral.
Aww.
And made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out. His wife Claudia was just as bad. She sent me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot." Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing.
The
My
hemlock.
hemlock.
The only other thing I'll say is that that's the writers of the game, the developers of the game, doing the thing I was talking about earlier. They're pointing the finger at, like, is the law the same as sinning in this golden rule world? Iulia would break the golden rule by breaking the law, hypothetically, etc., etc. But it's just like damning evidence for the system, basically. So you poisoned yourself.
I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have drunk all of it.
You have any extra that I could have, hypothetically, to kill other people with, maybe? If I could do that in a way that... Actually, I just want to incapacitate them, because that wouldn't break the golden rule, most likely. I'm so sorry to hear that. Our story's really sad.
I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid.
What happens to you now?
When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started. Only this time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, it would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course.
Can I do anything to help?
I doubt it. It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me, for trying to escape.
There's that
At
theme.
least until someone breaks the golden rule. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
There's that theme of fate again. The gods deciding for you what your outcome is. Or the system that you live in deciding what your outcome is. Or... I have a better idea. How much would it cost to buy your freedom? This is the other thing, too, is that when we get in such a desperate situation, all of a sudden, Iulia once again becomes a suspect for breaking the golden rule, because it might be the way out of here, right? But here's the thing. Iulia can't have broken the original golden rule because Iulia was still out. Unless Iulia... Oh, my head hurts. Someone is going to break the golden rule. This is what we know from Sentius. Someone's going to break the golden rule. It happens at the same time the election happens, right? But here's the question. Is it possible at the moment that the election happens and the... I'm going to have to come up with a better name for the like end game. I guess we just call it the end game. The end game starts, the run to the portal. What here's my list of possible suspects for what might have triggered it. 1, maybe Iulia dies. Maybe she was holding on for the entire loop, and then she dies. That would trigger it, right? 2, the actual potential fighting at the election. I'm not sure. But now, the next question is, like, now that Iulia is better, that wouldn't solve the problem most likely, right? But now that you're better, would you break the golden rule in order to kill yourself? That can't have been the original thing that broke the golden rule and triggered the end game, right? My head hurts. I have a better idea. How much would it cost to buy your freedom?
A lot. But it doesn't matter.
Ooh! What?
I made a suicide pact with Ulpius last night. He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelius set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself. knowing I broke my promise to him.
So it's possible. I'm just now piecing together. So the thing I just said, if Iulia successfully kills herself by the end, you know, she wanes, her health wanes from the hemlock and dies, that would trigger potentially the golden rule. Hypothetically, even if you solve her, then Ulpius would commit. So maybe the solution to this game, and I'm just going to say it right now, with the chance that in 10, 15 hours, I learn that I'm right. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to put it up on the red thread board. Is the person who's going to break the golden rule actually like 12 people? Ulpius might be throwing himself from the bluff. Someone else somewhere else in the city might be doing a thing. Like, are they all just, it's just hit boiling point for 10 people at once? I think there's a possibility. This game is making me think, and I love it. Perhaps I can help him too.
I doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but... thank you.
I'll see what I can do.
All right, but please don't take too long.
We're actually going to stop the episode right there. What a game! Oh, I feel like there's probably plenty left to click with this game for me. But I feel like some of it clicked today. Thank you so much for watching. We've discovered the armed assassin, who's certainly going to trigger the golden rule before too long. We've saved Iulia and discovered that maybe we shouldn't in the process, and discovered someone else to save with Ulpius as well. We have a way behind the blocked door, potentially, all because we realized that the archers have a specific way of moving. If you get far enough away, they try to come closer. We've solved the problem of retaining our inventory. The quantum rule of retaining your inventory. That's a nod for all you Outer Wilds fans out there. Without doing any spoilers. What a game. My brain is going to be sitting here turning things over for the next 30 minutes, even after I'm done recording. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to leave a like or a positive comment down below. I hope you're enjoying this series very much. If you've played the game, I hope I'm doing it justice. If you haven't, I'm only this far in. You still have a chance to go play the Forgotten City for yourself. Go buy it. I'm 4 hours in, and I highly recommend it already just because of the amount of thinking it's making me do and the amount of enjoyment I'm getting from solving small puzzles. Go buy the game. Support the developers. I'll see you tomorrow for another episode. Until then, have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.